Day 2, Sunday, October 5th. We woke to a bright, cloudy, wet morning on the edge of a beautiful green space at the back side of the parking area. It took a little time to heat up our cold brewed coffee, decaf, and clean up, hitting the road at a comfortable 8:30 a.m. We were only 35 minutes from Neuschwanstein Castle and reminisced about our last trip there in January and how we vowed to go back to see the inside on our next warmer trip. A brief glance at each other to see if today was that day, and nope. We were in the mood for Austria. The Alps were right in front of us, and those beautiful mountains and valleys were calling. Before we knew it, we were across the border, pulling over to get our mandatory vignette, allowing us legal passage on the Austrian roads. We had to buy a 10-day pass, as that was the minimum, for €12.50. The next one for 3 months was like €35. It was way cheaper to buy 2 separate ones. Pressing forward through the first few sets of tunnels led us past our first castle on a hill and to quaint little valley towns and diesel prices a few cents cheaper than we had found in Germany at $1.48 per liter. The towns are everything out of a movie you would have expected. The Bavarian-looking homes along a narrow, slow road with massively tall mountains shooting out of the limited pasture areas at the back of the town. The only road through town eventually dumping you off to merge back onto the main road winding through the mountain range. All along the main road are bike paths connecting to smaller towns to each other. The lushness of the green, grassy areas are as breathtaking as the snow-capped rocky peaks and the massive variety in trees. The free-roaming cows call to mind images of Heidi in the Swiss Alps, and you can sense the similarities here. The train tracks we paralleled for many, many miles took us through Lermus, Griesen, and Greinau. Finally, we arrived to our first planned destination, Partnachklamm, a deep gorge in the Wetterstein Mountains. We had to park near a gondola and an Olympic ski jumping stadium and then walk up a mile road walk that's only driven for people staying on the mountain. Before we headed out, we made a nice carnivore breakfast of eggs, bacon, leftover pork belly, and picanha, and a side of carnivore flatbread I made yesterday before we left. Feeling well fed and fully satisfied, we grabbed a piece of xylitol gum and got bundled. The temperature read in the 40s Fahrenheit, with wind chills as low as 39. With my wool base layer under my clothes, I felt more than prepared. Florian had a backpack for extra gear in case it proved cooler and wetter. The forecast for showers on and off throughout the day too. It's a lovely warm-up anticipation building walk to the gated start of the Klamm or Gorge. Florian picks up our tickets while I head to the bathroom to make use of the only free toilet we've seen since before we slept out last night. The Partnach River is to the right. It's a deep, vibrant, cool, glacial melted color that is deep aqua mixed with a white gray that you only see in those high alpine mountain runoffs. The ticket scan allows a rotary turnstile gate to unlock for each patron, and we start the mellow climb up the gorge. As the story goes, during the first half of the 20th century, there were plans to dam up the waters of the Partnach and the Fürstenbach before they entered the gorge. This would have supplied 30 million kilowatt hours of electrical energy to the town of Garmisch at a cost of 25 million Deutschmark. As would be expected, the project proposal was met with mixed reactions, and ultimately, the opponents won, voting to keep tourism and leaving things in a more natural state. Before the gorge developed, the river drained via the Fershen Valley. Eventually, a low rise in terrain between the two other rivers prior to the Partnach filled in and formed a large lake. A teeny stream began the breakthrough of the hills that carved itself deeper and deeper into the soft rock layers. When the cutting was deep enough, the lake began to drain through the new way, becoming the Partnachklamm Gorge. We exit the gorge through another turnstile gate and feel called to go down to soak our feet in the freezing cold river. Just as we do in all of our hikes, we took this time to soak our feet and give them time to recover and recharge for the next part of our hike. After studying a map posted nearby, we decide to do a loop back to the entrance of the gorge to cross the iron bridge and take another loop bringing us back to the top of the gorge so we can walk back down it to get back into the RV. It proves to be a wonderful 3 more hours of hiking and at least 800 feet elevation gain and loss up and down our path.
Oh, that is so steep. After that flat walk in the tunnels. Oh, Catherine.
The journey took us on an elevated suspension bridge bridges that were built to avoid the constantly eroding trails. Up some steep steps leading to open alpine meadows with restaurants, hotels, and grazing sheep and goats. On our last large elevation gain, looking out over many peaks, we took our shoes off again and grounded in the thick mat of grass that felt like nature's most luxurious mattress. We took a moment to snuggle and look up at the cloudy sky and appreciate the moment for what it brought to us. So much beauty, fresh air, and that wonderful feeling of freedom from time and obligations. We headed back down, chatting about the movie, the sound of music, and the desire we have to come back and spend an entire summer hiking across the Alps through Italy, Austria, Switzerland, and Germany. Once back down, we stood in awe of the ski jumping and walked away shaking our heads as to how anyone gets up the nerve to actually want to do that and why. We step inside the RV and it starts to pour. Our good timing has saved us from getting soaked, so we celebrate with a teeny nap before we set back out for our next destination. Mittenwald, Schnarz, Gessenbach, Triolos, Leithen, Zero. More unfamiliar names as we weave in and out of the German-Austrian border, through tunnels and grassy valley fields dotted with numerous wooden storage sheds. After a fully cloudy day, the sun starts to peek out and shines the spotlight on the steep sides of the mountains, highlighting the massive amounts of tree cover. The blue sky starts to appear as we head toward Innsbruck, less than an hour away. I've picked out sites along the way that are within 30 minutes to an hour, 30 minutes away from each other. That way we can keep moving but not feel like the whole trip is just driving. I'm excited to see how much on the list we actually get to visit. Arriving into Innsbruck just after 6 p.m., I remembered the site from when I was here over 25 years ago. The amazing valley full of businesses and things to do, surrounded by intensely rugged, snow-capped mountains. Driving in the downtown section just makes you want to get out and walk. The colorful houses, the beautiful fountains and parks, the walkway along the brilliant Aqua Inn River. I just want to be part of it. As dusk settles in, we find a parking space big enough for RVs that we can stay in for free since it's Sunday, and they aren't prohibited until Monday morning at 9. We cook up a delicious, all-you-can-eat salmon dinner and then head off for a nighttime walk through the town and around a portion of the Inn River. We pass cathedrals and through old architecture that just puts you in awe of the craftsmanship. The moon is almost full and lights our way in between the city signs and the street lights. As we walk around the river, Florian points out many massive sycamore trees that he fell in love with as a kid. The camouflage coloring to the tree trunks and the thickness of their girth make it a real man's tree. His appreciation makes my own grow. We walk hand in hand, going with the flow of what streets call to us until we are finally tired and ready for bed. It starts to rain once we step inside the RV, and as always, our timing is perfect. Looking forward to getting to Slovenia tomorrow. It will be a longer driving day, but we will finally leave the crowds behind.